Everybody, it's your boy Jude O, giving you a nice little recap of UFC on Fox 8 from last night, live in Seattle. Demetrius Johnson versus John Moraga headlined the event. That was for the Flyweight Championship. But first, we're going to talk to you guys about Liz Carmouche versus Jessica Andrade. Not sure about the rest of you guys, but I'm pretty excited about the way this women bantamweight division has been shaping up. A lot of exciting fights. These ladies are finishing each other. I'm pretty sure it's safe to say not a lot of people were expecting this kind of performances out of these ladies. With regards to Liz Carmouche, I think the only competition left for her is whoever's going to be the champion. She is very dominant. She looked great coming out in yesterday's fight. Had a little spot of trouble at the end of the first round there, but like she said in the post-fight press conference, she felt fine. She was safe. Came out and just completely dominated Andrade for the next little while there and just essentially beat her into submission with the ground and pound. Next fight on the card was Bobby Volker and Robbie Lawler. I had this one pegged to be either a first 10-second knockout or a bloodbath. Neither of the two really happened, but Robbie Lawler really showed all the tools that he's brought back into the UFC since his return. The kid looked very exciting, showed a lot of different techniques, ended up finishing with a left kick to the head. Probably, I thought it was knockout of the night, but they ended up giving it to Melvin Gillard. That being said, he's on the come up in the welterweight division, and that's for sure. Next fight was between another set of welterweights. I had this one pegged not to be a bloodbath like the Volker-Lawler fight, but I thought it was going to be the most exciting fight of the night between my boy Rory McDonald, the Canuck, Team Aries versus Jake the Juggernaut Ellenberger. These guys were talking a whole lot of smack leading into the fight yesterday. Ellenberger went as far as to say he didn't believe Aries belonged in the top 10. Completely outrageous statement. We thought these guys were going to come out and kill each other. Unfortunately, like it does with a lot of fights when there's a lot of smack talk back and forth with the lead up, it ended up being a little bit boring. That being said, Rory McDonald definitely showed a lot of his great techniques. That jab, that Faraz Zahabi jab, deadly. I saw Ellenberger doing that all night. His face looked real beat up in the press conference after the fights. That being said, Rory didn't really cement his position as the #1 contender, I feel, in this fight. He is probably the best left in the division outside of Carlos Condit. Yeah, just Carlos Condit, I'm going to have to say. But he didn't really perform the way that everybody expected. We were expecting something very exciting, something out of this world. So right now, at the end, they were talking a little bit about Robbie Lawler, Rory McDonald. That's a fight I definitely like to see. I feel like the two of them would come out a lot looser, and they would definitely give the fans something to really cheer about. Last but not least, DJ, Mighty Mouse, Demetrius Johnson versus John Moraga. Awesome fight. I had a chance to watch this guy fight live in Toronto against Joseph Benavidez for the Flyweight Championship. Very exciting guy. His speed is unmatched. His technique, I was saying he's probably one of the most technically sound champions in the entire organization. Everything he does better than anybody that you put him up against. Both of his last two fights being against John Dodson and John Moraga, these are two very big, powerful flyweights. These guys rocked him. They both rocked him. There's no questioning that. But what Demetrius Johnson showed is that resilience and that heart. He fought through both of these two great fights. Ended up finishing John Moraga last night with an armbar, taking awesome tutelage from his coach Matt Hume, who told him between rounds, go for that Kimura. He kept going for the Kimura in the second and third round. He said finish it off with the armbar if he's going to go for that reverse. He did exactly what he was told, came out with the win. Awesome fight for DJ Demetrius Johnson. That's it for me today, guys. Giving you guys a nice little recap on UFC on Fox 8. Keep voting every day. Make sure you guys get into www.drafted.ca. Check out my page. Let me know how you feel about things, and make sure you vote, alright, guys? Let's get it done.